more robust drug prevention education, 2 years ago signed on to a comprehensive bill that would decriminalize not just fentanyl, but a number of other hard drugs. And we wrote about this. Go to our website, breakthrough-ideas.com. In the header, click more. Look at the 2022 hot bills and find HB 3447. You can look at the entire 61 state reps. You'll find the voting record there of the 61 state reps who voted to decriminalize fentanyl. 8 of them are now sponsors on this bill for robust drug education because of fentanyl. Now, when they voted to allow decriminalization of enough fentanyl, 3 grams of fentanyl as a misdemeanor offense, 3 grams of fentanyl is enough to kill 1,500 people. You can take out the entire high school in Lisle with that. This was a bill to protect drug pushers. And now Trey Gowdy, all the other mainstream media, they want to report on the fentanyl crisis. They never, ever reported that these people, including Deb Conroy, who is the current DuPage County chairperson, they never reported that they voted to decriminalize fentanyl. They're giving these guys a pass. Now, another bill that's in Springfield, now it went nowhere. But it's HB1, sponsored by State Rep LaShawn Ford. And HB1 is a bill that essentially allows for safe drug injection sites. That's what it does. Now, what they named that bill, they called it overdose prevention sites. But it would essentially force taxpayers to fund sites where they are staffed and supplied with the fentanyl antidote, the overdose antidotes, Narcan, Naloxone, whatever it's called, and you pay for it. So allow people to take their drugs safely where they can be treated with an antidote. I mean, is that where we want to go? Oh, by the way, I mean, these guys, I don't know how they hold all these concepts that are disparate and nonsensical in their head at the same time, but they do. And the media says nothing. That's the problem. I bet you Trey Gowdy doesn't even know about that bill. I bet he has no idea about 3447 and who voted for it. Because honestly, there should be like an entire front page story with a listing of all these names. Are you freaking crazy? Decriminalizing fentanyl? That's what they did. Now, another thing that should probably be brought up is that Congress is really no different. In 2020, Sean Casten he opposed renewing the federal ban on fentanyl. That's what he did. He opposed renewing the federal ban on fentanyl. And when I was running against him for Congress, we said this about it. Sean Casten truly represents the extreme left wing of the Democrat base. His reason for voting against this common sense measure was his worry that street dealers would be over-prosecuted. It is because of radicals like him that Democrats are becoming the party of lawlessness and anarchy. We have to wonder what will be the next law Casten won't want to enforce. How will he tie law enforcement's hands next? That's what we wrote 3 years ago. Well, now they have bipartisanly extended the federal ban on fentanyl. They've done that, which is good, but they've done it primarily by voice vote. So Casten's specific vote isn't noted one way or the other. But he hasn't come out saying that, yeah, you know what, this is a serious crisis. And all these Democrats know exactly where the illegal drugs are coming from. They're coming across the southern border, which is wide open. Another thing Trey Gowdy forgot to mention. He talks all about the opioid crisis. He interviews parents who say, well, we have mental health issues. Yeah, you know what else we have? We have a supply problem. Because nobody's shutting down the border and arresting these thugs and sending them back and trying to stop the flow of illegal drugs into the country. Now, I personally believe we have to work on both sides, demand and supply. I do believe that. But for him to absolutely go through an entire discussion of fentanyl and not mention the border at all as to the place where the drugs are coming from, and China, by the way, and China, is not telling the whole story. And, with me on my podcast, what we do. We tell the real story. And so I'm giving you the real story. And I'm calling out the fakers on this stuff. And, also, speaking of the fakers, okay, the eight state reps who voted to decriminalize fentanyl just 2 years ago and then now voted for more robust drug education because fentanyl is a problem. Those 8 state reps are Katie Stewart, Rita Mayfield, Suzanne Ness, Didek, I don't know his first name, Jonathan Carroll, Maura Hirschauer. Oh, West Chicago, you're doing really good. Really good voting her back in. Great job. Mason, I forgot her for Joyce Mason, I believe, and Lindsay LaPointe. Those are the 8 state reps who sponsored robust drug education, but also voted to decrim fentanyl. You can't make this up. You really can't. I just kind of want to bring this full circle around. Oh, I almost forgot to mention Delia Ramirez. She's now the 3rd District Congresswoman. She also voted to decriminalize fentanyl. So she's another real winner that, got elevated. I wonder where she stands on all of this. Well, maybe some people who live that district would want to talk to her and find out. Anyway, that's what's been going on. I just want to speak truth to the entire situation surrounding fentanyl and not let the media get away with only covering half the story. Thanks for joining me on the Facebook Live and Twitter Live.